Hello everyone, so today's video is a what messages do I need to hear? Okay, so we have a three piles here that you guys can select from as to what messages you need to hear from Spirit today. Okay, so we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now, the way that these pick a card readings work is you choose the pile that resonates the most with you. So, some people like to do visuals. So that's why I have here, like with these cards, each card is different. So to kind of help differentiate like what pile speaks to you. Others like to use crystals to help. And then others just do based off of pure intuition. So what I like to do, I'm more visual, but I also am intuitive as well. So I go with both. So whatever works best for you, please, do so. You can definitely take your, deep breaths. You can meditate, whatever it is that's calling, whichever pile's calling to you, that's what you would want to choose. Please keep in mind these messages are general messages because they are not specifically geared towards you. This is not a personalized reading. This is a general reading. Not everything is going to 100% resonate with you. So please just take what does, whatever doesn't. Obviously, that message is meant for someone else, but please take in mind, to only take the messages that do resonate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with pile number 1, and then we're going to move on to 2 and 3 thereafter. Okay, all right, so I'm going to move pile 2 and 3 off to the side. And we have some oracle cards. So I'm going to put these off to the side, and we're going to also have some tarot cards. So we're going to do your tarot cards first. So I'm going to go ahead and lay them out in front first. What we have the High Priestess in reverse, the Death card, the 7 of Pentacles, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, and the 10 of Wands, which I'm going to put this off to the side. Okay, so what I'm getting from these cards, there's a few things going on here. Right off the bat, from what I'm seeing for some of you guys, is with the Death card. I'm going to start with that one just because that one usually tends to get people a lot of, they get really worried whenever they see that card. They think like, oh my gosh, the Death card, does it mean I'm dying? No, that's not what it means. The Death card actually signifies new beginnings. So kind of like getting, saying goodbye to the old, hello to the new. That's what the Death card signifies, okay? Sorry, let me take out my cough drop. I'm not really feeling very well. So with the Death card, this talks about the new beginnings, the new changes in our lives, and kind of like shedding and letting go of the things that no longer serve us, and moving forward. Okay, with the High Priestess in reverse, this signifies usually you kind of taking an inner look at yourself and figuring out what it is that you're wanting to do or like let go of, in this sense. And I think when you have the Death card with that, it's kind of like that self-reflection of realizing what no longer serves you and how you can now move forward, in a positive way for you. Okay, we have the 7 of Pentacles, which talks about you putting in all the hard work, all this hard work and all this effort that you've been putting into yourself in these changes, and you're finally starting to see the benefit of that. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I've done all this, I've done all that. When am I finally going to get, to the other side? And then you have the Death card, which shows that you are able to move forward, and everything that you've been working on towards this is achievable. Okay, I also like here that we have the Ten of Wands. Now, this card really shows that all of your efforts, all of your work, everything that you've been putting into is all tied up into this. Like you're kind of carrying it with you, like your burdens or whatnot. Um, you're not necessarily like letting go. So with the Death card and the High Priestess in with this, I think it's really signifying that for some of you who have been having a hard time moving forward, for whatever reason, whether it's from a job, a relationship, or anything that isn't really serving you, you are able to get past it. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Now, these cards down here, I feel like are giving a little bit different messages, and I'll explain why. So, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's talking about how things may not feel like they're going necessarily the way that we've been wanting them to, and kind of going along with the cards above. But with the Wheel of Fortune, we have that sense of like something's holding you back from making those changes that you want to make. Okay, so for some of you who have been really working hard and really putting in that effort, as we see with the Seven of Pentacles, with some of you, the Wheel of Fortune being in reverse, it's showing that there's something still holding you back. There's something keeping you from getting, to this new beginning, to shedding this old weight or whatever it is that's just been dragging you down. So kind of keep in mind about that. I feel like these cards down here on the bottom are more a sense of a warning, because if you are not willing to let go of whatever it is that's keeping you stagnant or, kind of stuck, you're not going to be able to, move forward. Okay. We also have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is also seen as like a warning card to excuse me, indicate that perhaps something, could be coming to you, or someone close to you. There's some type of conflict up at hand, up ahead. Usually this can indicate, excuse me, just kind of like, I don't want to say bad news because that sounds really bad, but, just kind of be wary that, something, negative could be coming your way. So just kind of keep an eye on that. And then we have the Emperor card. So the Emperor is more of like a father figure type card. It's more of the, like he's, say, like the masculine card, so to speak. So this could actually either talk about either your father, yourself if you are a male watching this, or a strong male figure in your life. Okay. And what this can indicate is that you could be turning to this person for guidance, for support during this difficult time. For some of you guys who are having a hard time moving forward from whatever it is that's been maybe holding you back, you could be turning to somebody for assistance or guidance, to help you shed all of this to, move on to your new beginning. So that's what I see with that. So we're going to go ahead and move on to your oracle cards that we have. We have some messages from your angels. The first one is, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. I like that. I really like that. The next one, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. Very nice. All right. So again, one of the things I like about, especially with this message here, you obviously don't want to settle. You don't want to compromise. So whatever, you feel is holding you back from achieving your full potential, don't let it. understand that you are capable of achieving all of that and more. So I really like those messages that we have there. We have two other messages. We have success, ooh, and relaxation. Very nice. So for some of you guys during all of this, even though it might feel very tedious and very tiring because you're putting in so much effort, you do need to relax and just kind of reevaluate and understand, self-reflect as to why maybe you can't seem to shed all of that negativity in order to move into a positive outcome. But if you do, understand that success is right around the corner and you are capable of achieving it. Okay. And finally, we have your love oracle message. And this says, close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. This is beautiful. I think this is really, resonating with the whole flow of everything here. And just really understanding that, you are in charge of your own happiness, regardless of what other outside circumstances are coming into play and, possibly making you feel, holding you back, whatever it may be. Knowing that, if you really take that time to listen to yourself, to your intuition, and realize like how you can, let go of the things that you need to in order to move forward, I think this will really be beneficial to you guys in the long run. Okay, so that was all for group number 1. We are now going to move on to number 2. So, excuse me while I clean up this. All right, so we have group 2. Put these off to the side. All right, we're going to do your tarot cards first. All right, so we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of take a quick second here just to kind of get an idea of what exactly we've got going on. I feel like we've got quite a few things that are going on. So I'm going to start with the Lovers in reverse, because the Lovers in reverse and the 2 of Swords are really what's standing out to me the most right now, and I will tell you why. Excuse me. So right off the bat, with the 2 of Swords, I'm going to start there. The 2 of Swords typically talks about kind of like, that there's a situation going on, but you're kind of but you're choosing to stay ignorant about it, or like try to ignore like what's really going on. It might be like an uncomfortable situation. So the best example I can give, and I know this sounds bad, but would be like if or you have an idea that your partner might be cheating or doing something, but you don't want to acknowledge that that's true. You'd rather just kind of turn a blind eye because, well, I haven't actually seen any proof, so therefore I'm just gonna say that it, isn't going on. But yet, there might be some things that are really hinted at it that kind of make it obvious. That's the best analogy that I could give with that. Okay, so excuse me. With the Lovers in reverse, um, usually it's just kind of like the opposite of you guys working well together. So typically when the Lovers is in the upright position, it's, kind of like that harmony, the lover, twin flame, all of that. When it's in reverse, it usually means the opposite, that perhaps there could be some things going on in your relationship right now. And that could be one of them. There could just be some underlying issue going on where you're kind of like ignoring just like the tension that's there. Something's going on, but you're just kind of, either you or your partner are kind of just like, yeah, I'm gonna tiptoe around it and act like it's not really an issue. Okay. So for some of you guys who chose this group, that could be a message just trying to get out that perhaps you guys do need to actually recognize or talk about whatever it is that you're trying to ignore. Okay. And we have the Five of Swords. And this card talks about change and how change is very difficult, and sometimes it can be difficult for yourself. But knowing that you need to be able to, move forward, and that change is just a part of life. Okay. So for some of you guys who might be going through some type of change, understanding that, you may feel like you want to resist it, like, no, I don't want to. I like the way things are going. Just understanding that, change is normal. Change sometimes is necessary. Sometimes it's for the greater good. Okay. So just try to keep those things in mind, with this card coming into play. All right. Excuse me. So then we have the Three of Pentacles, and we also have the Four of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is talking about excuse me, oh my goodness, where things right now are in reference to money, that either money could be coming back to you, or some sort of payoff could be coming through, whether it's through school, upgrade in your skills, or like perhaps a change in your career. Something could be coming about where you're acquiring something that you didn't have before, as far as like more money, a new job, anything of that nature. Okay. The Four of Pentacles indicates that you might fear that there's a loss coming, if you do take this change or something does come about. So if you notice, like with the imagery with the Four Pentacles, it's like he's holding on to all that he has. He doesn't want to let it go. So for some of you guys, with this fear of change, perhaps with this either new job venture or something to that aspect, if we're going to tie it in with the relationship portion, if some of you are married and you're having this issue, I could see how the reason why perhaps some of you are not wanting to address the elephant in the room, so to speak. Like if somebody is cheating, there's probably that fear of, I don't want to lose everything I have, or I don't want to, lose, my possessions, this and that, because if you get divorced, it's 50-50, and it just, unfortunately, things get ugly. So I can understand why there's kind of like that sense of, oh, I'm just gonna turn a blind eye. I don't really want to acknowledge it, because if this is true, if things aren't really going so well in my relationship and it does ultimately have to lead to divorce, I could lose everything. This is a huge change. This is a great fear. So I can see now why, with having these cards in here, why some of you may have that sense of fear. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Ace of Cups. Now, the Queen of Wands, to me, she indicates, a woman who's like in a position of authority, somebody who's kind, who's warm, who's caring. This could be you. This could be just, depicting you as, the person who's watching this, if you're a woman. This could be, talking about you in this overall spread, and, and how you are almost like an authoritative figure in this situation. But with that, obviously, you could have this overall sense of fear of everything that's just kind of going on around you. You try to maybe perceive that, nope, I've got this under control, things are going fine, I'm not going to allow whatever it is that may or may not be going on really affect me. But in actuality, it is. So, kind of keep, I would say just kind of keep caution with that. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And usually, yeah, this card really talks about disappointments in love. Okay, so perhaps, I hate to I hate to think of this such as a negative spread, but I'm really thinking this has to do a lot with your guys' with relationships. Okay, so when it's in the reverse position, this talks about like not being able to move forward in your relationship. There's some sort of blockage or something that's holding you back. And I think in this whole instance, based off of like the Two of Swords here, the Five of Swords, the fact that the Lovers is in reverse, to me, this just completely paints out that there's just something going on in your relationship that either you or your partner are refusing to acknowledge. And I think the reason why is because you think it could possibly lead into a divorce. Okay. I'm really sorry that has to be what's coming through, but I think overall what these cards are really just trying to indicate is that if you don't acknowledge what's going on, if neither one of you do, it's not that things are going to get better. Things, I think, are ultimately just going to get worse. So either you acknowledge it, you work it out, or you try, to make an effort to work it out, or you just allow yourself to continue to put yourself through this turmoil of, did they, didn't they, or what do I do, where do I go, all of this and that. Okay, so I think it's just kind of more of a warning. All right. So let's see what your messages are from your angels. We have 2 messages. The first one, Archangel Uriel. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Beautiful. All right, and then when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or a pedicure. I think that's really important too, because, if a lot of you guys are going through this situation with your relationships, oftentimes we forget about ourselves and we just focus on the other person. So it becomes all about them and nothing about you. So please don't forget to take care of yourselves through this process, as difficult as it can be. And obviously, keep your head up and understand that, you just have faith that obviously this message here is telling you that, that they're going to help you release your anger and unforgiveness, which I think is very beautiful as well. All right, we have 2 more messages. We have enlightenment and openness. Okay, so yeah, I think if you guys allow yourself to be open and acknowledge what it is that's going on, even though I know it's hard to do, you'll be greater in the end for it. Okay, there will be a sense of enlightenment that will come with that. Okay, that will allow you guys to be able to move forward, and ultimately for the better. All right, and your love message. Only time will tell. Yeah, so I honestly think this really does talk about a relationship, and unfortunately not in the good way. So, I'm really sorry, but like I said, I really hope that this did resonate with you guys if you chose this pile, and at least letting you take the time to really acknowledge what it is that is going on and how you guys can move forward from this and, ultimately for the better. I know it's never easy to hear something like this, especially like for those of you who really want your relationship to work out. I think it is definitely possible so long as you and your partner are willing to put in the effort. But if neither of you are acknowledging what it is that's going on and are kind of just putting a blind eye to it, then it won't survive. I have to be honest, it just won't. So keep those things in mind. Please know that you are definitely in my thoughts and prayers. Hopefully things will work out. But I am going to go ahead and move on to the last group. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put out the messages to the side. I'm going to start with the tarot cards. We have the 7 of Wands, reverse, the 3 of Wands, reverse, 10 of Cups in reverse, the Fool in reverse, the 9 of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Swords, and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so let's see, what message do we need to hear right now? So it's very interesting. One of the things right off the bat is that it seems like everything is in the reverse position except for the Queen of Swords. So that's pretty interesting right off the bat. All right. So I'm going to start with the 7 of Wands, the fact that it's in the reverse position. Excuse me. I am so sorry that I am sick, and I'm sorry if I sound kind of crazy, guys. All right. So with the 7 of Wands in reverse, this card talks about you possibly being in a state of confusion right now. Perhaps there are things going on in your life where you're just like really unsure of what to do. How do I move forward? What steps should I take? Should I take this job? Should I not? Should I stay in this relationship? Should I not? All of these things are really kind of like, is it this or that? What should I do? You're legit just kind of like, I don't know what to do. Okay. The fact that we have the 3 of Swords right next to it kind of makes me think of, again, a relationship. The 3 of Swords card usually talks about like the ending of a relationship, when it's in the upright position. It talks about like that sense of pain that, one goes through. And when it's in the reverse position, it basically indicates that perhaps some of you are going through or had, just recently gone through a breakup or a separation, and that's just all you're thinking about. It is completely 100% clouding you with your feelings. It's almost just like it's taken over you. It's almost like at this point, you're in that blaming stage instead of healing. And I say that very carefully because I've been there. So, I've been to that point where I've gone through a divorce, and I went to a period where I did just solely blame them. Like it was 100% their fault. It was because of them. They cheated. They did this. They did that. And that was all that was going through my mind. That was all that I could, submerge myself into. So this to me, it really resonates because it's just like you're in that almost state of like depression where it's so hard to think of anything else but that. Okay. So for some of you guys with this whole indecisiveness and just like really being stuck and not really sure of which way to go, I think it could be for some of you who did go through some sort of breakup or separation, It could be because of that, because you just can't make sense of your reality. It's so difficult to see anything more, what's ahead of you, because that is 100% just in your mind, at this current time. Okay. So, with this card though, please just try to keep in mind, even though it's easier said than done, try not to let it bog you down. Try not to let it consume you, because I'll be honest, it will it will go if you allow it to, it will consume you for a really, really long time. So that's why I think if you're here right now watching this, please take this as a positive message to recognize what it is that it's doing to you and allow yourself to let go of it. Okay. um So we then have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Now, the Ten of Cups in the upright position actually is like, state of love and harmony and everything's going great. But when it's in the reverse position, it actually means the opposite. So this talks about, delays and obstacles are standing in the way of what what we long for, like the happiness that we're wanting. So, what this card acts as when it's in reverse, it acts like as a warning of just letting you know to try to maintain that positivity. If you stay in the negative, it's going to continue to be heartbreaking. It's going to continue to be indecisive. But if you allow yourself to let go and to maintain a positive attitude, then eventually that positive change will come. Okay, so just try to keep that in mind, when you're seeing this. Like I said, it's easier said than done. If you had told me this years ago when I was going through the thick of it, I probably wouldn't have, listened right away. It would have taken me a few times, but, trust me, it does work out for the better if you allow it to. Okay. So then we have the Fool in reverse. Now, so with this card too, again, it's talking about how, see, right now is not a good time to really make any rash decisions. Basically, because of everything that you're feeling, the hurt and the pain, don't make a decision just for the sake of making a decision. What I mean by that is, don't just jump into the next relationship, or don't just jump into something that sounds good momentarily without real thought into it. Okay, that's why it's known as the Fool card. Sometimes we can be foolish and things, whether we're in love and when we're hurt. Sometimes we just don't really think rationally. So again, just really keep in mind that even though, yes, you are in a state of healing right now, you need to give yourself that time before you make any type of decision moving forward. Okay, so just really keep that in mind, whenever it comes to anything, either the next relationship or your current one. If you're thinking of maybe getting back together with them or whatever it may be, don't jump into anything just yet. Okay. So then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And this talks about how you, again, feel as of right now. You kind of feel like you're fighting a losing battle. But this is telling you, yeah, you need to cut your losses and move forward. I think if you stay stuck in this mindset here and you stay confused, you're only going to make things worse for you. Okay. Sometimes in life, things just don't work out. Sometimes things just don't work out the way that we want them to, and that's okay. It's part of life. It's how we learn, and it's how we move forward. Okay. I know it's, for a lot of you guys, you're probably like, shut up, I don't want to hear that. Trust me, when I was going through my things, I would not want to hear when people say, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better. And I was like, no, it won't. No, it won't. I don't want to hear that. So, but trust me when I say, because I've been there. I've been where some of you have been. If you're watching this and this pile resonates with you and you're going through the thick of it, trust me, I've been where you are, and it will ultimately get better. But you have to be able to let it go, cut your losses, and realize that you are in charge of your own happiness. Okay. And that's where we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, I feel like she's my girl. I feel like she's me. She is a very strong woman, but she's also a woman who's been through a lot. Okay, that's what the Queen of Swords represents. The Queen of Swords talks about a woman, like an independent woman, but who's, very intellectual, but she's endured so much, a lot of loss, emotional loss, separation. Perhaps she's been through a divorce or anything like that. So she's a strong woman, but she overcomes it. Okay. And that's the one thing I really want you guys to focus on. So if you're a woman watching this and you're the one who this completely resonates with you, as far as like going through some type of loss or separation, divorce, death, whatever it may be, this is you. Okay. And keep that in mind, that you can get through this difficult time. It might not feel like you're going to at the moment, but I promise you, you will. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's why the Queen of Swords, if you notice, out of all of these cards, she's the only one in the upright position. Why? Because she's going to get through it. That is why. Okay, again, I know that seems like ridiculous to some, but I promise this whole reading is really giving me chills, because I 100% resonate with this. Like, for me personally, if this had been me years ago, this would have been me 100%. Okay. But recognize that you are strong, you are capable, and you are independent of getting through anything. Okay. No matter how depressed you may feel, no matter how hurt you may feel, you will be able to get through this. Okay. Excuse me. And then last, we have the Three of Wands. So this just basically is telling you, if you do allow yourself to let go of everything that is kind of holding you down, and you allow yourself to kind of have a clear frame of mind, that, things will eventually work themselves out. You will be able to get through all of this heartache, no problem, so long as you find that inner strength to just let it go. Okay, so those were your tarot messages. We're going to go ahead and move on to your angel oracle messages. Now I know why 3 cards came out. So when I was shuffling your messages from your angels, 3 of them came out at the exact same time. And typically I don't take all 3, or I usually don't take a whole bunch if they all come out. I usually will just do like the one. But since all 3 came out, I figured, okay, then clearly those are your messages. So this is the first one we're going to read. So it's from Desiree. No, conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait or look into other options and ask the angels to help guide and comfort you. Wow. Yeah, so for some of you, because if you really are in the thick of it with your depression or with your emotions and everything, it can feel like just things aren't very in your favor, so definitely take the time, look into weighing in all your options, and ask for guidance from your angels and from those around you. Okay, they will help guide and comfort you. All right, the next one we have is from Vanessa. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? That's perfect. Yeah, definitely ask yourself, those things, which brings you closer to happiness, what takes you away from it? Is it that person? Are they bringing you closer to happiness or further from it? Think about those things. And last, we have Maya. Schooling, study, and education. Help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. All right, so perhaps during this time too, helping stay focused on other things, whether it be like through schooling and education, to help keep you not so bogged down with your emotions right now. Okay. Ooh, and then we have 2 other messages. We have power and action. Now, what I'm noticing primarily with the imagery with this, especially with the power, to me it just seems so negative. It's very dark, it's very gloomy. And when I see this, I think of the power this person has over you for making you feel this way, or for you allowing them, I should say, to make you feel this way. Okay. Once you give up that power that they have over you, that's when you can take action and you're able to let everything go and cut everything off. And what I mean by that is cutting it off for you to succeed, for you to have a better chance at a better life without them. Okay. And your last message, this is your romance message. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. I love this. I think this is very personal, very deep. Yeah, really just think about all those things. Like, if you allow yourself to really let everything go that's holding you back, that's really weighing you down, you will be able to live a better and happy, more fulfilled life. You just will. I promise you. I can't say it enough. I have been where these cards are saying. Once you get through it and you do what makes you happy and you put yourself first, trust me, all things will fall into play and you will be happy again. Okay, so I hope this resonated. I hope this was the message that you needed to hear. If you chose pile number 3, please let me know if any of these messages resonated with you guys. If you chose any of the 3 piles, I would love to hear back. Any positive or, negative feedback, it doesn't matter. I definitely am wanting to do more of these, and I would love to expand my channel and things like that. So if you guys have any suggestions for future pick a cards, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.